If your knees are stiff or painful, then follow me on this strength and conditioning routine that will help you. Hi everyone, and welcome to Exercise for Health, and welcome to week 2 of our 6-week home exercise program to keep your body and mind healthy throughout the summer. This workout will focus on exercises for the knee joint to improve its strength and mobility, and you could do it on 2 or 3 days of the week. It should be suitable for most health conditions, but may not be suitable for everyone, so if you're unsure, check with your health professional first. For this routine, you will need a support for balance purposes, which can be a wall. You will also need a chair that's not too low, such as a dining chair, or use the side of an armchair like I will. Finally, you will also need a low step to use, and you may decide to hold a weight if you find any of the exercises less challenging, and I'll leave links in the description below to the ones I'm using. So get yourself ready and let's go. Right, to begin this routine for the knees, we're going to start off with a couple of warm-up exercises. The first one we're going to do is we're going to be sidestepping to go into a half squat. So if you start with your feet together, and then what I want you to do from there, hands you can just place across your chest, but you're going to take a step out to the side, so your feet are a little bit wider than the shoulders width. Hinge the hips, start to squat down, but don't go down too low. Come back up, bring the feet together, and then step out the opposite way. Hinge the hips, half squat down. So we're just going to be moving from left to right. We're going to do it 10 times, nice and steady, just so we can start to activate some of these muscles in the legs and get the joints moving a little bit. That's 2. So we're going to do 10 of these. 3, 4. So we're not going too low on this stage. 5, 6. Good. 4 more. 7, 8. Last 2. 9. 1 more. And 10. Good. Right, next one we're going to do is we're going to do a dynamic stretch, so we can start to stretch out the hamstrings on the back of the leg. For this one, you may need to be close to a support, so I'm going to do this close to the wall just in case for balance purposes. And then what we're going to do is with this outside leg, I'm going to keep the leg straight at the knee, and then we're going to swing it up to the front and then bring it back down to the side of the body again. So nice and gently, just getting that swinging movement. We'll do 10 on one leg, then we'll turn around and do 10 on the other leg. And you can gradually increase the height as you go through each one. So set yourself up ready. Outside leg, make sure you try and keep that knee straight. Off we go. So swing it up, bring it back down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Try and keep the body still. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 more. And 10. Good. Right, turn yourself around. So you can do the same on the other side. So again, make sure you keep that leg straight at the knee. Try and keep good posture, so keep your body upright and your torso still as you do the leg swing. Ready? Off we go. 1, 2, 3. Should feel a bit of a stretch on the hamstrings. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. And 10. Good. Turn yourself around again. We're going to do something similar. So still a leg swing, but this time the knee's going to be bent. So what I want you to do is get the heel of the foot up as close as you can to your bottom, so we're getting as much of a knee bend as you can. And then from there, we're working around the hip, so we're starting to stretch this muscle on the front of the leg as we bring the knee up to the front, and then we're going to take the knee back as far as you can. That's where you're going to feel the stretch on the front of the hip. So get yourself ready. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, again keep the body still. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Turn yourself around. Let's do the same on the other side. So again, bend the knee as much as you can first, then drive the knee up and also get the knee to go back. Body stays still. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Good. Okay, so now we're going to go into the main exercises. First one we're going to do is a kickstand squat, and if for this one you may decide you want to use your hand weights for this just to keep hold on front of the chest, but you don't need them if you don't want to. So a kickstand squat is basically similar to a standard squat where you've got your feet slightly wider than the shoulders width and you're squatting down, but we're going to have a kickstand. So one foot is going to go slightly offset to go further back. If I show from the side, so I'm going to take the toes back behind me. There's not really much weight on the back foot, so that places more weight on this front foot. So then as you then hip hinge, then bend that front knee as you begin to squat down. Think about taking your bottom down close to this back heel and then drive yourself back up to standing. So most of the weight is on the front foot. Do 10 on one leg, 10 on the other. If you want to use your weights, just hold your weights in front of the chest like this, in nice and tight. So set yourself up ready. Doesn't matter which foot you do first because we're going to do both sides anyway. So one foot further back, keep most of the weight on that front foot. Off we go. So hip hinge, squat down as low as you can go, keeping the weight on the front foot. Push yourself back up to standing. That's one. Hip hinge first, then bend that knee. 2. Nice and steady. 3. You go as low as you can tolerate. 4. So if you find it starts getting painful going too low, just go to the point before you get that pain. 5. Hip hinge first, then squat. 6. 4 more. Make sure most of the weight is on that front foot. 7. 8. Good. 2 more. Nice and steady. Keep it controlled. Last one. Well done. Right, swap the feet over. So opposite foot back as the kickstand. Set yourself up ready, another 10. Off we go. So hip hinge first, drop down, drive up through that front foot. 1. Make sure this front knee doesn't start to come inwards. 2. 3. So make sure most of the weight is on that front foot. 4. 5. 6. Last 4. 7. 8. Good. 2 more. 9. Last one. And 10. Good. Right, pop your weights down if you've had them. So next one we're going to do is single leg step downs. So this is where you're going to need your step. And for this one, when you start from the step, one foot's going to be off the step, but it's going to be going forwards. And that's the idea, is we're going to be moving the ankle and the knee quite considerably as you slowly control your descent to go forwards. Get the heel to just kiss the floor and then stand back up. Now, if you find that really hurts your knee, because there's a lot of force going through the knee this way, do it the other way around. So start off with, so you're going to go backwards. So I'm facing the other way. So I'm going to take the foot back behind. So then as I then do this step down, this knee's not going to be traveling quite so far forwards. So that way I can just go down, feel the back foot, tap the floor, and then drive back up to standing. If you're doing this on a higher step, you may find you can't go all the way down because it is really a small movement anyway, but adjust that to suit you. So set yourself up ready. I'm doing this close to the wall just for balance purposes. One foot in front or one foot behind you if you're doing it the other way, and then slowly down, nice and steady. Get that front foot to kiss the floor and then come back up to standing. That's 1, 2, 3. As you're going down, try and keep the foot on the step completely flat. 4, so don't let the heel start to come off the step. 5, 6, just be careful of this knee that you're working. 7, that it doesn't come inwards, keep it in a line with the foot. 8, 2 more. 9, last one. And 10, good. Right, switch the feet over. It's the same on the other side. So again, other foot just out in front or just behind if you're doing it in the opposite way. Slowly as you go down, kiss the floor with the foot, stand back up, that's 1. So keep that knee tracking in alignment of the toes, 2, as it bends. 3, 4, 5, 6, should be feeling that now, 7, feel it in the quads, might feel it a bit in the glutes as well, 8, because they're acting to stabilize your hip, 9, one more, and 10, good. Okay, right, the next one we're going to do is we're going to go seated, so this is where you need your relatively high chair, so I'm using the armchair for this one, and we're going to do a straight leg raise. So technique is really important on this one, otherwise you probably won't feel it in the right way. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten out one leg in front of me. This is the one that I'm working, and it's really important that your posture stays upright. If you think about trying to push your belly button forwards, almost like you're trying to create this arch in your lower back, that will actually assist this slightly because you'll create more of a stretch on the hamstring and have to make the front of the thighs work that much harder. So be careful that you don't start to slouch when you do this straight leg raise, because you probably won't feel it. So when you're sat down, one leg out straight in front of you, push your belly button forwards, so you're sat up tall, and then this leg you're just going to raise up, keeping the body dead still. So raise up as high as you can, it probably won't be that much, and then lower, keeping it straight at the knee. That's 2, doing 10 of these. 3, 4, just think about your posture, don't start to let the belly button drop back. 5, so up nice and tall. 6, 7, 8, should be feeling that all the way down the front of this thigh. 9, from the hip down to the knee. And 10, good. Okay, let's switch the feet over. So same thing on the other side, so make sure this leg is straight, push your belly button forwards, so you're up nice and tall, keeping the leg straight, raise it up as high as you can, activate these muscles on the front of the legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, good. 5, try and keep your body upright, so it might be easy to kind of start swaying, so keep your body upright. That's 6, 7, 8, should be feeling that now down the front of the thigh. 9, keep the posture, last one, and 10, good. Right, should have put that into the thighs. Okay, next one we're going to do is we're going to go into a split squat. So this is where you can use your step to turn it into more of a Bulgarian split squat if you prefer, which is what I'm going to do. So that means that I'm going to have one foot quite a long way further back behind me. So not like the kickstand squat when it was relatively close. This time we're going to take the feet further apart. So we're going to just try and place a bit more emphasis on the front leg as you go down. So back foot, either just on the step behind you, or you can have it on the floor. And then the movement from there then is I'm going to make sure I'm hinging from that hip. So I'm going to bring my torso forward slightly, pushing the bottom back, bending this front knee. So most of the weight's on this leg, and then drive back up to standing. We're going to do 10 with one, 10 with the other. Now, if you want to use the weights, you can use your dumbbells and just hold them to the side of the body as you're going up and down, but that's optional. So set yourself up ready, either with both feet on the floor or with the back foot on the step. Okay, get ready. And off we go. So leaning the torso forwards a little bit, bending the knee, drop down as low as you comfortably can, stand back up, that's 1. So again, worked through your range of movement that you've got. 2, without inducing any additional pain. 3, 4, 5, watch that front knee as it's bending, make sure it stays in alignment with the toes of the foot. 6, so it shouldn't be coming inwards. 7, you might be starting to feel that around your bottom. 8, 2 more. 9, last one. And 10, good. Right, let's swap over to do the same on the other side. So split squat stance. If you're using the step, back up on the step. Set yourself up ready. Make sure you've got the width in your stance so you've got good balance. And off we go. So hip hinge, bend the knee, as low as you can tolerate. Stand back up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, good. Keep the control. 5, 6, 7, last 3, 8, 9, one more, and 10. Good. Right, pop the weights down. Actually, you could actually keep hold of them if you want to for the next one. Let me show you what it is without the weights first. We're going to do a hip hinge. So this is where you want your feet to shoulder width wide, and then from there we're basically working from the hip. So we're trying to get these muscles on the back of the legs that go over the back of the knee, the hamstrings, to try and activate. So the movement is feet at shoulder width wide. You're going to keep your hands close to your legs, and then from there I'm thinking about pushing my bottom back as I bend at the hips as low as you can until you feel a stretch here on the back of the legs. At that point, you'll then return the hips forwards to get yourself back up to an upright position. If you want to use the weights for this one, to add a bit more resistance, keep the weights really, really close to the thighs and do exactly the same thing. So I'm sliding the weights down the thighs as far as you can till you feel the stretch, and then bring your hips back up and forwards again. I'm going to do this 10 times. So set yourself up ready, and off we go. So hips right back, lower, feel the stretch, and then come back up to upright. It's 1, 2, good. Again, good control, good technique. 3, keep the head and the chest up, and that'll stop you from bending the back over and flexing the spine. 4, 5, imagine you've got a drawer that's open behind you and you're pushing it close with your bottom. 6, so push it right back, right back, right back, right back, feel the stretch. 7, good. 8, 2 more. 9, last one. And 10, excellent. Right, pop the weights down. Okay, last exercise before we go into do some stretches. We're going to go back seated again, and we're going to finish off this last one, which is a sit to stand. But rather than do a traditional to sit to stand, which is kind of like doing a half squat, what we're going to do is we're going to do a single leg. So from here, I'm going to straighten out one leg in front. So this is then placing all the weight through this left leg. I'm going to cross my hands over the chest, or you can keep them out in front. It's entirely up to you. But essentially, I'm going to hinge at the hip forwards. So I got the weight through this left foot, and then push the left foot into the floor to get myself up to standing. It might feel a bit weird because this leg's not really doing anything. It's kind of stuck out in front. And then allow the hip to go back as you lower back down until you're back to a seated position. Okay, so we're going to do 10 on one side and then 10 on the other. So you probably need this to be quite high up. If you're really low down in your chair, you're going to find this quite difficult. So you do need to be quite high up. So set yourself up ready, and off we go. So lean the body forwards and then push through that foot. Now I can't get up. Push through the foot, get to standing, and then push the hips back slowly as you go back down. That's 1. Drive up. 2. Slowly as you go back, push the bum back. Drive up. 3. Good. And again, push through that left foot. 4. Or right foot if you're doing it the other way around. And again, drive. 5. Slowly back. And again, push up through. 6. You should be really starting to feel this in your quads on the front of the thigh. And again, 7. Slowly back down. 3 more. 8. So nothing's really going on with this leg, it's just stuck out straight in front. 2 more. Power up. Slowly down. Last one. Drive up, slowly down. Okay, my quads are on fire on that one. Let's switch over. Do the same on the opposite side. So set yourself up again. So this leg's out straight with the heel on the floor. Remember, all the weight's going through this opposite foot. So lean the torso forwards, feel the weight on that foot, and then power up to standing. That's one. Slowly back, push the hips right back, bend the knee till you tap the seat. Back up again. Two. Slowly sit down. Good. Three. Slowly back, push the hips back as you're bending that knee. Four. Good. Five. Slowly down. Keep that control. So we're really working into this front thigh. Six. Slowly back. Seven. And again. Eight. Just two more. This is the last exercise as well. 9. Slowly down. Last one. And 10. Good work. Okay, right. Now we've finished off those main exercises. What we're going to do now is do a few stretches just as part of a cool down to finish off. The first one we're going to do is we're going to stretch out the muscle we've just worked, these quads. So 2 ways of doing this. If your knee's quite flexible, you've got good mobility in it, stand close to something for a support, and then you're going to take hold of the foot to try and bend the knee as much as possible. Get the heel of the foot up as close as you can to your bottom, and then this bent knee you want to try and bring in towards the other leg and also try and pull it back. Now if you've got knee issues that restrict your mobility a little bit, then instead place the foot behind you on that low step. Make sure this knee is further back behind where your hip is, and then push your hips forward so you're trying to stand up tall, and that'll generate a little bit of a stretch still on the front of this hip here and down the front of the thigh. So that's an alternative if you can't bend the knee too much. So set yourself up so you can feel the stretch, and then we'll hold the position of the stretch for about 20 to 30 seconds as you focus on relaxing your breathing. Good, and then swap over, same on the other side. So again, if you need to use the step or just put the toes back on the floor behind you and then push the hips forwards, that's fine. But if you can get the knee to bend more and do it this way, that's good, it'll get more of a stretch on the quads. Good. Okay, let's go seated for the next one. That was a quad stretch. We're now going to do a hamstring stretch for the muscles on the back of the legs. So for this one, I'm going to straighten one leg out in front, making sure that knee stays straight. Placing my hands on the other leg, I'm going to sit myself up tall, and that might already engage a stretch on the hamstring. If it doesn't, keep your posture and just hinge at the hip as you go forward. So trying to push the belly button forwards until you create that stretch on the back of that leg. Good. Bring that foot in. Let's do the same on the other side. So leg straight at the knee, heel on the floor, hands on the opposite leg. Sit yourself up tall and then hinge at the hip as you go forwards until you feel that stretch on the back of that straight leg. Good. Okay, next one we're going to do is an adductor stretch for the inner thigh. So for this one, take your feet out as wide as you comfortably can, knees out going wide as well, and then bring your elbows down onto the inside of the knees and just let the body go forwards, and you can use your arms to push the knees out wider so you feel a bit of a stretch on the inside of the thighs. You might feel it in the lower back as well if your lower back's a bit tight like mine is. Good. Come back up, and then the last one we're going to do is a piriformis stretch, which is a muscle that comes deep around the side of the hip. So I want you to bring one foot across onto the opposite knee. And then this knee that's bent, I'm going to try and just push that knee down slightly towards the floor at the same time as I'm trying to get my belly button to go forwards towards this calf muscle. So I'm pushing that knee down and I'm also taking my torso forwards. And as I push my belly button forwards towards this lower leg, that's going to create more of a stretch here around the side of the hip. Good, and then switch over, same on the other side. So knee down, and then think about pushing your belly button forwards until you feel the stretch around the side of the hip. And release. Good, and you're all finished. Well done. I hope you enjoyed this second summer workout and are looking forwards to next week when we focus on exercises for the hips. If it has helped you, then please give it a like by clicking the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing if you haven't already. You can check out the description below for further information and ways that you can help support this channel. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay active and keep moving to feel better. E